Oi pessoal, meu nome é Rafael. Eu vou fazer a leitura de uma pequena história com o objetivo de ajudar iniciantes no estudo da língua inglesa a adquirir vocabulário e melhorar sua compreensão auditiva. A história se chama Nurse Angus. Nurse Angus. Finlay hated Peggy Angus from the first moment that he saw her. Their first meeting was a bad one, and Finlay thought that Nurse Angus hated him too. Finlay was in a bad temper. He had a lot of work. He was late. It was raining. He ran through the rain into the hospital. He was running fast with his head down. At the door of the hospital, he ran into a nurse. The nurse was young and very pretty. She smiled at him, but Finlay was not in a good temper. "Can't you look where you're going? Or perhaps you always run into people," he shouted. Nurse Angus' smile disappeared. "It was your fault. You ran into me. You came through that door like a wild animal," she said. Finlay's temper was worse now. "Do you know who I am?" he shouted. "Oh yes," she mocked. "You are Dr. Finlay. Everyone says how kind and nice you are." Finlay heard her mocking words and he was very angry. "Remember, you are only a nurse here. I am a doctor, and you take your orders from me." Her angry eyes were shining, but she was cleverer than Finlay and did not shout. She mocked him again. "Yes, sir. I won't say a word when you run into me next time." "What?" shouted Finlay. "You can't talk to me like that." At that moment, matron clerk came out of her room. She had not heard Finlay and the nurse. "Ah, Dr. Finlay," said matron clerk. "I see that you have just met Nurse Angus. She is our new nurse from Edinburgh. We are very glad that she has come to help us." Matron Clark smiled at the young nurse. Finlay was surprised. Matron Clark did not often smile. "You know, Dr. Finlay, that Nurse Angus does not have to work. Her father is Mr. Angus of Dunhill. You have heard of him, of course," said Matron Clark. Of course Finlay had heard of the Angus family. They were famous and were very, very rich. "Yes," Matron Clark went on. "Nurse Angus loves to work. She wants to be a nurse, and we are all very glad to have her." Finlay could not speak. He was too angry. Matron Clark said, "We are pleased to have Nurse Angus. Her father always gives a lot of money to the hospital each year. We must try to make things easy for her." Finlay was angrier then. Nurse Angus did not like these words, but Finlay did not notice anything. Instead, he said, "The Angus family is nothing to me. Nurse Angus is only a nurse. She is like all the other nurses in this hospital, and I shall not make things easy for her. No one is special here." With these rude words, he left. After this bad first meeting, Finlay hated Nurse Angus. Every time he saw her, he was in a bad temper. He was angry. He knew that he must fight her. He wanted to find faults in her work, but it was not easy. Nurse Angus loved her work, and she was a very good nurse. She was kind to everyone, and she worked hard. Finlay gave her many orders in the hospital. She always mocked him. "Yes, sir. Yes, doctor." And this made Finlay more angry. While she was working, Finlay watched her. She was quick and clever, and he did not see any faults in her. He also felt angry because Nurse Angus was popular too. She knew everyone and everyone knew her. She was popular in the hospital and in town. People invited her to dinners and parties every week. It's her father's money. That's why she's so popular. The famous Angus family, he said angrily. One Monday morning, Peggy Angus returned from a holiday at home. Finlay said to her, "Why don't you always stay at home? You're only playing in this hospital. You're not really a nurse." "Nursing is just a game for you, isn't it?" "Is it?" she replied. "You know it is. You're just playing. You need real courage to be a nurse," he said. "And I don't have real courage?" she asked quietly. "No, you don't. You're a little rich girl playing games," Finlay said. For many weeks, Finlay did not see Peggy Angus. He told himself that he was glad. Then the summer came. The weather was hot and sunny, and Finlay played tennis every day. Finlay played well, and he wanted to play in the tennis tournament. The tournament was the big game of the year at the tennis club. The club always chose the players. Finlay wrote his name in the book for the tournament. The next day, he went to the club to read the names of the players. He looked in the book. Next to his name was the name of Peggy Angus. Finlay stared. "It can't be true," he said to himself, but the club had chosen the players, and Finlay had to play with her. "Hello, Finlay," said a voice behind him. It was Doggy Lindsay and some friends from the club. "Congratulations, Finlay," they said. "You're playing tennis with Peggy Angus in the tournament." "Congratulations, she's a pretty girl." "I didn't know she played tennis," said Finlay in a bad temper. "Of course she plays tennis. She plays well too. She used to be a champion in school." "Congratulations," Doggy laughed. He saw that Finlay was not pleased. Finlay knew that Nurse Angus was at the hospital that evening. He went straight there and found her. "I've come to tell you the happy news," he said in a low voice. "You and I are going to play in the tournament." "That's good," she said quietly. Her answer surprised him. "Can you hold a tennis racket?" he asked rudely. "Oh, I think I can," she mocked. "They say that you played tennis well. You were a champion when you were at school, huh?" "Oh yes, I was a champion when I was only a baby," she replied. Finlay almost smiled. Nurse Angus was very pretty, he thought, but he stopped himself. "Well, I hope you play well in this tournament. I want to win. So you must practice every day. Do you understand? Remember, practice, hard work, and courage. That's how you win games, Miss Angus." He left quickly, and she had no time to reply. Their first game in the tournament arrived. Peggy Angus had not been once to the club to practice. She wanted to show Finlay that she did not listen to his words. Finlay arrived early. He and Peggy Angus had to play against Tom Douglas and May Scott. While they were waiting, Finlay talked to Tom and May. At 5 minutes to 6, Peggy Angus arrived. She walked onto the court. She carried 2 tennis rackets, and she looked very pretty in her short white dress. Finlay stared at her. "You're late," he said. "Oh, I don't think it's 6 o'clock yet," she replied quietly. Finlay was angry with himself. He knew he had been rude. They began to play. Finlay saw at once that Peggy was a wonderful player. She was quick, strong, and clever. Peggy and Finlay won the game easily. "Congratulations, Miss Angus," said Tom Douglas. "I can see that you used to be a champion." Finlay was excited. He knew that Peggy was a better player than himself. He wanted to be friendly. "Nurse Angus," he said, "you played wonderfully today. You must give me lessons before our next game." And he smiled at her. Finlay thought his words were friendly, but Nurse Angus did not. She thought he was being rude again. "Dr. Finlay," she began, "I'll play with you in the tournament. I have to, so I'll do it. But please leave me alone." Finlay saw that she had not understood him. He really wanted to be friendly, but Nurse Angus walked away. He did not see her for 2 weeks. Next game the tournament arrived. They did not speak one word to each other. Again, she played very well, and they won. They played the 3rd, 4th, and 5th games together. They won all of them, but they did not speak. The people at the club watched with excitement. Finlay and Peggy were 2 very good players. Everyone said, "They are wonderful. They win all their games together." The last day of the tournament arrived. The players were Finlay and Peggy against Doggy Lindsay and Miss Brown. Miss Brown had been a champion for 3 years. She was a strong player and Doggy was a champion too. That day at breakfast, Cameron said to Finlay, "I see you've been playing tennis with your good friend Nurse Angus, Finlay. She likes you very much, doesn't she?" "Likes me?" shouted Finlay. "She hates me. She doesn't speak to me." "Then you're both fools. I hope you lose," said Cameron, and laughed. But Finlay wanted to win. He wanted Peggy and himself to be the club champions. Finlay arrived early for the tournament. There was a big crowd. They were watching with excitement. Doggy and Miss Brown were early too. "Where's Miss Angus?" asked Doggy. "She's coming," replied Finlay. But at 3 o'clock she was not there. "Perhaps she's not coming," said Doggy with a smile. "Of course she's coming," said Finlay. But he didn't know. Perhaps Peggy was not coming. "She hates me, doesn't she?" Finlay thought. Then there was a shout from the crowd. "She's here! Miss Angus is here!" And Peggy Angus walked onto the court. Her face was white and tired, and she was wearing a glove on her right hand. "You can't play in that glove," said Finlay. "Take it off." "I've hurt my hand playing tennis," she replied. "It's nothing." "But I'll wear the glove," she said. "Let's begin," shouted Doggy, and the game began. Doggy and Miss Brown played fast. Finlay saw that it was going to be difficult. He noticed that Peggy was not playing well. Perhaps it's the excitement of today's game, he thought. Peggy was low and she looked tired. Finlay tried hard, but Doggy and Miss Brown were winning. They were playing faster, harder, and better. "Come on, Miss Angus," said Finlay. "You must do better than this. We must win, you and I." Peggy looked worried when Finlay said this. She played faster. She hit the ball hard, and the crowd shouted. It was a very exciting game, but Finlay felt that something was wrong. Peggy looked tired. "Are you all right?" he asked her. She didn't reply. It was almost the end of the game. Doggy hit a shot to Finlay, and Finlay missed it. Peggy returned the shot beautifully. Again and again, Finlay missed the ball and Peggy hit it instead. Her game was wonderful. She played hard and fast. Peggy played shot after shot until they needed only one more point to win. Miss Brown hit the ball. Peggy returned it with a wonderful shot. But Doggy and Miss Brown missed it. The point won the game. Peggy's shot had won the tournament. The crowd shouted with excitement. Peggy and Finlay had won the tournament. Doggy and Miss Brown ran to the new champions while the crowd was shouting. "Congratulations," they said. Suddenly the crowd stopped shouting. Finlay turned and saw Peggy Angus fall to the ground. She didn't move. "Get a glass of water," said Finlay. "She's fainted." They brought a glass of water and Finlay held it to Peggy's mouth. She opened her eyes. "The excitement was too much for you. You fainted," he said to her. "Why did you play if you weren't well?" "You said practice, hard work, and courage. Remember?" And she got up and walked away. Finlay was ashamed. He tried to be glad. He and Peggy were the new tennis champions. But he was ashamed of his words. He only remembered her tired face. He left the club sadly. While he was going down the road, he met Matron Clark. She ran straight to Finlay. "Have you seen Nurse Angus?" she asked quickly. "Last night I left her in bed at the hospital and now she's gone. She's gone." Finlay stared at Matron Clark. "She's just playing the tennis tournament. We won. She's in the club now," said Finlay. Matron Clark began to cry. "Oh no, oh no," she cried. "I begged her not to go." "Why?" asked Finlay in surprise. "Didn't she tell you? Didn't you know? Last night, the woman in bed 15 dropped a bottle of acid. The acid fell on Nurse Angus' hand. The acid burned her badly. She can hardly move her hand. I told her to stay in bed, and she played tennis with her burned hand. Oh no!" And Matron Clark ran into the club. Finlay turned and watched her. Suddenly he understood. That was why Peggy had looked tired. That was why she had fainted. He noticed her glove, but she had said it's nothing. Why had she played? Then he remembered. He had told her that she needed real courage to be a nurse. He had said that she needed practice, hard work, and courage to win. She had played tennis in great pain. It was his fault. Finlay turned and watched her. Suddenly he understood. That was why Peggy had looked tired. That was why she had fainted. He noticed her glove, but she had said it's nothing. Why had she played? Then he remembered. He had told her that she needed real courage to be a nurse. He had said that she needed practice, hard work, and courage to win. She had played tennis in great pain. It was his fault.